welcome to tonight's Skeptic and Ranting. Construction of the third temple is about to begin. Dun, dun, dun. It has to be a trilogy. That's right. Where we are watching a video from the channel Divine Transformation. Can't help myself. Called, and of course, this is why the image tonight is a cow, called Red Heifer Arrives in Israel. God, it's a Jewish cow. Construction of the third temple is about to be... Yes, exactly. Is about to begin. I had to resist calling it Red Heifer Arrives in Israel because no one would know what that title is. So at least construction of third temple, that kind of is cultural.
Rocco's Modern Life or Ren and Stimpy?
Yes, it is about time that I'm trying to remember his name, but it is about time.
Shit's about to get real.
It's about to hit the fan. Yes, so won't you join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, for a good time in a temple with a quarter pounder and cheese. What is up, misfits, one and all in the inner tubes? Please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. I said it, TOS. You can let them. Anyway, you can then hit that bell icon to all so you can get reminders to join our live streams or see our premieres. And that allows us to say hello to everyone. Like, what is up? Said hello, Gregory, who went to bed, but he'll see this on the later upload. Sending love to Judith. Sending love to Captain Butt. Sending love to What the Bag. And
hey, Jasper. Hey, Beck.
What is up, everyone? And I hope you're having a fantastic night. Boy, do we have a whopper for you. Yes, all podcasts sponsored by cats. But we tonight are going to be talking about something that is silly, truly silly. I didn't quite understand what James was sending to me at first, and I had to look it up. And it's kind of odd because I was the Jewish one. Well, I guess you actually have a little bit of a Jewish background, but nonetheless, I would think the Hebrew school didn't seem to teach us about magic cows. That was not in the lesson plan.
The Christians are very, very interested in them, though.
Yes, apparently you need. And James, remember. These cows, these sacrifices, they can't have a single blemish. They love that word, okay? No blemishes. No. We see a single blemish, I'm turning this minivan around.
Well, it's like the priests, they cannot have a damaged testicle. They cannot be in the Holy of Holies with a defective testicle. So there's somebody going to be there inspecting before they go in. Like, oh, wait, let me see. Oh, I think you're having an issue there. We're not going to let you in. We're sorry.
You're fucked up. Yeah, you can't teach at the synagogue or place of worship. You kind of have a messed up nut. Trying to put it in technical terms.
I mean, it's like a cow with an ingrown hair. I mean, you might think, I'll just pull it out. It'll be fine. No, that's blemished. It's not holy enough. God.
Hate to be a cow in this scenario and you just accidentally trip and fall. That's it, James. I mean, game over.
Unblemished. Yeah.
Oh, religion is so ridiculous.
We're sorry. That means you don't get to be ritually slaughtered and burnt to appease our war god. Sorry, you don't make the cut, Heifer.
Well, and I guess I don't know if I was gonna wait to do this. Maybe I'll wait just right before we do it.
Yeah,
but I want to
okay.
break it down. What is actually going on with magic cows? Because they don't do it anymore. But and there's always a but. There's always a long asterisk. Because you'd be like, of course they don't do it anymore. Because it's ridiculous to have magic cows. And they're like, no, we don't do it because we thought it was silly. We don't do it anymore because they destroyed our temple. Oh. Okay. And so you're saying one day, yeah, we're going to, well, that's what you do. You kill cows. And if you're an American, that's actually a fairly normal statement. However, and then use their ashes to wipe on you so that you may re-enter society after you've seen a dead one.
Well, it's like the like Chick-fil-A used to have guys in cow suits on the streets, like, eat more chicken.
Yeah, I see. They still have signs up and billboards and that. Yes, they do. Yeah, it really does kind of feel like this would have been orchestrated by chickens. That's the only way that I would understand this.
In league with the squirrels.
I also just like the thought of like an Illuminati of Jews trying to raise the perfect cow.
Like keeping it in a padded room, you know, these rabbis just praying constantly. Yeah.
There'd be a scientist off to the side because they'd actually have to be the ones genetically making or breeding the cows, maybe a farmer or something. But then off to the side, just a bunch of rabbis muttering to themselves.
Davening with their tefillin and
very red cow.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Super red, super perfect,
super red.
God is really going to be happy with this. God is really going to be happy with this one. We're going to hit a home run with this one, guys. God,
but this is
going to love the smell of this thing burning.
It's where we get Christianity from. This type of logic. Like, I get that the Jews don't want to have any attachment to Christianity, but there's a reason that the Christians were like, oh, it has to be perfect and we can sacrifice a thing to God. Yeah, this shit. Okay?
Yeah,
like you were doing it to cows. You're going to make a sequel and you got to have to up the ante.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the Christians were like the one who wrote, like, kind of like this whole killing animal thing is kind of fucking stupid. Maybe we could just make up this. Maybe we could just make up a guy and say that we killed, so we don't have to kill animals anymore, so God won't be mad at us.
Oh, they do this in two ways. I love it. That this is the more civilized sacrifice. Okay, so they do what James just said, which is they say, well, look, it was barbaric to be killing animal after animal. We just need to kill a single guy. My favorite is when they go, look at these Aztecs. They were ripping hearts out of people for sacrifices to their god. And you're like,
yes.
What's the problem? I thought you loved that. Isn't that the shtick? Was it? It can't be a heart. It's got to be. There's something about nails. Well, I guess.
But Amy, it's got to be for. It's got to be for God. They're doing that for their false gods. Then it's evil.
Yes. Remember, it's only got to be the true God, the real God. Right. All the others, cults. What's up, DVK? What's up, Dave?
They're demons. Yeah, they're demons. Paul says that the gods of the pagans are demons. Yeah.
Which is another concept that just bugs the crap out of me. Like, it's fun when you're playing a video game. Demons, positive. Demons in real life, I don't mean negative as in like, ooh, it's a negative thing that would exist. I mean like, stop shoveling the bad things that people do onto magic people. Magic people do not make people do bad things. Okay, if someone cheated on their spouse, it wasn't because there was an evil overlord underneath us slowly trying to manifest them sleeping with Becky. It was probably something else. Probably in this region or lower. I'm probably guessing. But spooky evil people. Possession.
I mean the ritual slaughter. Of course, they're okay with killing animals to eat, but they realize it's stupid to kill them for forgiveness of sins. Yeah.
This is what I mean about this episode. Okay, you're never gonna find someone. I'm pretty sure I did have one today. You're never gonna find a country, unfortunately, for better or for worse. Do you know what they call people from America on 4chan? I haven't been there on forever, but do you know what they call us? Because it is for whatever reason it is a very worldwide server, so you can see the flags of where everyone comes from, and so they will very specifically, if you were talking, they will say, "Shut up, burger," because that's what Americans are called. Yeah, we love our hamburgers, and I get it, but this to me, once again, the cow doesn't come out better by you not eating it. The cow still ends up dead. So in this place, it's just a waste of a cow. Good waste of a cow. Wendy would not be happy, is all I'm saying. She'd be sitting there trying to make a square. She'd be like, no, I'm pretty sure it should look like this. Anyway, if you've just joined us, we're talking about the construction of the third temple, of course, and how it's about to begin any day now. Any day now. Numerous claims in here. My favorite, okay, up and coming. I don't know if this is a spoiler, but they're like, there's going to be a war in the Middle East. Uh-oh. James, that's a prediction. That's off. This person should buy lottery tickets now. Now.
Yeah. Well, John Hagee says there's going to be an army of 100 million people descend upon Israel, like the Lord of the Rings style battle, yeah.
Where
would you even put all those people? I don't know.
It's like the size of New Jersey. Are you kidding me? Good luck with that.
We don't need like millions of men like that. We have atomic weapons and things like that vaporize entire cities. We don't need millions of people in battle.
Yes, and other countries are lazy. They don't want to be involved. I don't know what to tell you. It's gonna go on until religion dies. So good luck with that.
America,
I get flack.
You guys got this. You guys keep it. You guys protecting us. Okay, we're gonna spend the money elsewhere, and they have. In many ways, they've gotten the better deal out of that. Hey, we're gonna give our people health care, free education if you guys are, going to protect us no matter what.
I'm not a fan of any of well, clearly, I mean, it's easy to hate Hamas. They're terrible, horrible degenerates. And then fucking the right-wing government in Israel, as they're just like, hey, you mind if we just shoot right through these people here? That'll be okay.
What people? What people? We don't see any people.
I am so sick of both sides, and I know the solution, and I will continue to say the solution. And I get flack for this because people always tell me they're like, such a simple solution will never be the answer. They say you need something complex, nuanced. It's religion. Both sides are promised by God, and both sides want to pray at their insert holy whatever without the other one being able to do the same. And so you either have a lot of death or you don't have religion. Those are the only two options. Or I guess the freedom of religion, which would be secularity, which once again would almost be coming back to where I would want anyway. But that's fine. Everyone will continue to say That's silly. It's not religion. Okay? There's some other very nuanced. We're good. Okay. I'm sure that's, what's holding a grudge for
It's more about nationalism, or it's more about this, or more
multi-general.
about that than religion.
Yes, exactly. It's about land because it's such amazing, fertile land. I get people live there. You don't choose where you fucking are born, but
In terms of
all the
valuable real estate,
I know.
Desert.
Oh my god, it's not the Fertile Crescent. Anyway, religion is just so wonderful, James. It gives us gifts. It's the only way we can have morality. Did you know that? The only way.
That's what I've been told.
Yes. Let's send shout outs, and then I'm gonna do like a very quick. I'm just gonna do like a quick whatever with the red cows, because this like I swear, James, one eye was out, I was sleepy, and I'm like, why are we fucking looking at red cows? And I looked this up, and it was so dumb. I told you, just so. There is a point where you look and you just have to stand in awe in how stupid it is. And like I told you before, it's the only way you can make sense of it is you go, okay, this was 3,000, 5,000 years ago. You think you can burn a fucking cow and magically, get something out of it from God, accepted back into society. Once again, this shouldn't have been happening to begin with, but whatever. But what bothers me is anyone who would believe it now. Okay? I get why they believed it. They didn't know where the sun went at night. Okay? Bigger issues. But like now you're gonna the altar of McDonald's. This is where we are. We're all. I'm sorry. I'd rather just use my app.
How, like the Christian, like one of the other videos was like the Christians are the one who bred these cows and like shipped them over to Israel. They're like, because they want this shit to end. They are trying to like, they want this apocalypse. They want to get it started. They are ready to go. So,
end of the world.
Of course, most of the Jewish people have very little interest in building a temple. But it's like, oh, we'll get all the shit ready for you. We'll help you build it. We'll help. We'll bring you the cows. We'll do this. We'll do that. Please.
Well, it's because the Jews are like, well, we get cows, and the Christians are like, well, we get the end of the world. What a deal! Everyone's happy. For so many, the religion is
because the way that the Jewish people have it now is the way that the Jewish people have, they can read all this stuff about sacrifices and offerings and gloss right over it because they say, oh, well, we don't have a temple, so we don't have to do any of that shit.
No, I know.
Why would the fuck would they want to build a temple so they have to do all that shit?
I just love that the reason that it's like we don't do that anymore, and you're like, because it's crazy, and they're like, no, because they burned our temple. Oh,
well, you want to rebuild? Well, no, that's for God to rebuild. We're not going to concern ourselves with that. That's for God to do.
I guess he needs to get his butt down here and do it. I've been trying to.
Hey, when he's good and ready, Amy.
Exactly. We need to be on God's time. God's time only slightly longer than Amy time. Let's continue to. Well, we'll do shout outs. And then, like I said, I'll do my little thing. I'll hand you over to James for a second, and then we'll get into it, folks. But sending shout outs to all the love out there. There are many ways to support the channel, not only just like, following, and subscribing. You can become a channel member with our evolving badge system. That's right, our badges naturally just evolve over time. I will continue to say we're going to do more evolution. We love our evolution here, but apparently I can't get more, James, because like I said, the more I learn, the more it just creationism makes less sense somehow, if it were even possible.
That's a challenge, but hey.
They also want so much, which is, I find the irony that the creationists always ask such highly detailed questions, and because of how many years we have been putting in hard work from natural philosophy all the way to the branching out the different subjects, that we're able to give highly detailed answers to many of the topics that we want to know out there. And yet we ask anything about religion. Just try and get your ankles wet about any logistical anything, like how they made a giraffe. That's what I want to know. How'd you make a giraffe? And they'll say, how'd God make a giraffe? He fucking made a giraffe. That's how he made a giraffe. You go, oh, great. Or
he
they
spoke
give you...
it into existence.
Yes, thank you.
That's one thing I love to say. He
the
spoke
poetry.
it into existence.
La, 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 la. Oh, well, thank you. I didn't know he did that. That clears it up. Guys, let's go back in the lab and spoke it into...
He spoke it, and it happened. The universe obeyed God.
It makes sense. It makes too much sense. Evolving badges. Also, we have our Patreon at patreon.com/Amy Newman with many great special perks. Sending it out. And sending love to all of our supporters out there. Sending love to Chris Disciple.
Thanks, Chris.
Reminding us we do have theists in the Skeptic and Ranting community. Yes, we also invite you all to the Skeptic and Ranting community. All you have to do is be skeptical of your beliefs. Dale Pastel is reminding us we're looking for... I prefer a lot of empirical evidence, but a little bit of empirical evidence... That would be pretty cool. Sending love to davegar. We saw him out there. Sending love to davegar Day. Reminding us that the Earth is round and 4.5 billion years old. Another thing, James, that we should not have to fight over. We're a worldwide podcast, but America is just such a... I love our country, many great qualities. The religiosity of our country continues to be not only an annoyance, but I swear it's the other cultural driver. Like, it is basically far religious. So I don't want to even attach it to an ideology. It is the far religious. Anyway, so much love. Davegar. If you think the Earth is 6,000 to 10,000 years old, you're in a cult.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay? I'm just saying. Like, actually, you have to have a leader to have a cult. So you may just be a conspiracy theorist. I should paint with as small a brush as possible.
Yeah, most of them subscribe to one of the leaders or one of their favorites.
If you have a priest or a pastor, if you have an imam or a rabbi, I look at that as a low-grade cult. And I get it. Everyone's like, that I tell this to, they're like, oh, you're just using that because you're angry at religion. I'm not in a cult. I, go to work every day and do whatever. I come home and do whatever I want. I get it. But you have a leader who you think... From them, they are the speaker of God. Does that sound a little... What's that word? Ultish. It rhymes with ultish. I can't think of what it is. Anyway. Yeah. Sending love to Rachel Holen. Loving Rachel Holen. Reminding us that it's okay to go to a bar and consensually take a femboy home with you, and then dress them in a maid's outfit. It is not okay to forcibly take people from the nations around you, to kill the men and just take the women and children. It's kind of evil.
Well, I mean, the girls that have never had sex before, you can take those, But once they've started to do that, then no, they're dirty.
Yes, exactly. You gotta have the virgins. Sending love. So DBK says, can't stop out religion, should avoid religiosity. It's the cult of Abraham and similar faiths in mythology. Norway's pubs serve wreck for religion. To qualify is not a cult or solid. I will say, and here's the thing, because there's never going to be not religion. Well, I shouldn't say never, but it's going to take a long, long time to get religion out of the Middle East. What we need to get is them to stop being fundies, because when they chill out and stop caring, my joke will continue to be that if you stuck needles in both sides and did DNA tests, the similarity would be like, oh, your uncle's with my... Oh, okay, uh-huh. And whatever. I'm sure they'll figure it out. They'll find that nuanced position.
If they had other stuff to do aside from religion and killing people, then
yes,
like if,
I will
like greater
say
economic opportunities and
you wouldn't
better entertainment options, better things to keep them busy that don't involve religion or killing.
James, you need to understand, our four forefathers were promised this land by God. And he has the receipt. It's written in this holy book that my prophet made. Which prophet? The prophet of insert whatever religion you'd like.
That's actually interesting because my God, my prophet, actually says this is our land. Go figure, huh?
What? But do you know how I know that yours is fake?
Oh, well, how?
Time tested. Well, because mine says that mine is true. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure my prophet said he was the last true prophet. So there's no prophets after him.
Hold on, let me check my book. I know. This is... I mean, it's so scientific. I just don't understand how they haven't solved more problems.
Well, anyway, my book is 600 years older than your book.
I know.
So
and the time goes both ways. Also, so does my sexuality.
We were there first.
But sometimes they're like, well, this is the newest, so it's the newest revelation. Or you could go the other way, and you could say, well, this is the first. They play it both ways, and once again...
Oh, no, like Joseph Smith, the Book of Mormon, it's the most up-to-date revelation from God.
Just the Reformed Egyptian. Just such an easy lie. Easy lie. Just making shit up. And making shit up more than religion. Because I guess I can't get in Muhammad's head. I can't get in Jesus's head. And Moses definitely didn't exist. But I can't get in their heads. And so I don't know what they thought.
They can get their heads into you.
Hopefully. But I know Joseph Smith was full of shit. I know also he knew that he was full of shit. He's the rare prophet where I feel like him and L. Ron Hubbard. Both of those dudes knew they were full of shit.
Jim Jones, in a way, Jim Jones, he just might have been mentally ill. He just might have been mentally ill. He just might have been bad.
I don't know what was going on. Yeah, there was something going on there.
You batshit crazy.
Sponsored by
he volunteered. He volunteered, I believe, to. So if there were any men that were struggling with attractions to other men, he would take that on himself to deburden them by having sex with the men. That way they wouldn't have to deal with that lust and those desires, because he would take that on himself. He would bear their burden. Yeah.
Can I tell you something that is just equally? It's not the same thing, but it's equally as silly. Yeah. Do you know? Have you ever heard of the far right supremacist guy, Nick Fuentes?
Heard of him, yes. I'm not too familiar with him, but I've heard of him.
It's okay. You just need to know that he's a admitted incel. He is involuntary celibate. He has said, and I'm not gonna. I'm paraphrasing, but he said having sex with a woman is gay because afterwards they want to do kissing and cuddling.
Oh, I never thought of that.
James, tell me, how big of a closet? Come on. Come on.
I never thought of it that way.
I mean, you have to be looking at Narnia at that point. But anyway, he's just another one to add onto the list. That is the weird thing about going through all these.
It's like Jesse Lee Peterson, like,
you beat me to it.
Having a woman suck your dick is gay.
Gay? You want a woman down there? Doing a man's job?
That's gay.
Let
me do it. You'll never go back. You'll never go back to a woman again. I promise.
But I want to know: is there another man out there that goes, "Oh yeah, that is kind of gay"? Right? There isn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't run into any.
Is voluntary, so it takes effort. That's probably no. I know.
Yeah.
They say that it's their choice, not the fact that women hate them.
He's so aggressively hostile.
Yeah. Gives me mommy issues at night vibes. Anyway, who are we talking about? Setting Love, the final two. Setting Love, also to Rejos, and we really do, James. This is upcoming. We're gonna get back into it just because it gives us so much pleasure, so much wisdom. We do need to get back into our Bible studies, as there sometimes isn't any better comedy than just trying to read this and realizing that people think that this is the best book in the world. The good book, the best book, #1 bestseller. $60 a pop if you ask one politician. Anyway, I promised I wouldn't. I don't know who I promised, but I said I wouldn't. Anyway, sending so much love to Rejos and sending love to Ian Davenport.
Yeah.
Sending so much love, Ian, reminding us that apologetic arguments kind of suck. If you were to weigh 2,000 years of apologetic arguments and the last 5 years of medical science, I know which one I'd take. But you know,
the apologetics, right?
The apologetics, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd want Kalam in my back pocket in case that I come down with the polio. The polio.
You could describe the ontological argument to
exactly. Yes, and so with that, thank you all the love, the supporters, everyone watching, and now I'm gonna just share screen and I'm gonna show something because I can't help myself. Because we all just have to apparently know this going in. So here we go. We're gonna have some fun in the sun before we do the episode. The episode's main dish, so to speak. I cannot help myself because this is what motivated me to do this episode in the first place. Okay? Like, it's a whole thing. It's an actual thing.
It is a
anyway,
thing.
Before I read it, and we'll read it verbatim and go through it.
Look at that. That's a nice picture of that cow.
It's a nice cow. A beautiful cow. It's a red Angus. You're looking for a great burger. Nonetheless.
Oh, yeah.
As is known culturally, Wikipedia wasn't always the best source of material in the early days. It has become stronger. That is because citations are included in most Wikipedia articles. A thing to know about citations within Wikipedia is Wikipedia cannot cite Wikipedia. All right? It has to come from an outside source. If not, it will be deleted. and thus it's coming from our fantastic Yale University Press as they look at the Book of Numbers. Anyway, a red heifer, because why not magic cows? In Judaism, the red heifer, fantastic, also known as the red cow.
Oh,
And as
wow.
AI knows
Thanks.
it, as James will continue his
Sounds
favorite
like
up and
a
coming
future fast food restaurant. The
That's
Red
right. We're going to
Cow.
open the red cow. But what is that? Of course, you need everyday use a ritually pure heifer sacrificed by priests to Yahweh, to God, of course. That is mentioned in the Torah, which is the first half, or at least a good chunk, a few books of within the Bible. Yes, that's right. This is an actual thing. I'm still processing it myself. It's ashes after being sacrificed. They make like some sort of paste or some shit. Burned were used for ritual purification because why not? If you see someone who is dead, clearly we can't let them back into society. And so this is as a prelude to the building their temple. Great. I can't believe this is real. We can, if you really want to deep dive on it, here we go. I can't believe this is this. I have seen shorter
Color of the
Wikipedia
heifer.
articles like about nation states, and there is this much about a red cow. All right, this is the timeline we're living in. Anyway,
Did you know, Amy, that the red heifer, it's only cows that they don't have a penis, but the bull of the red male bull heifer has to be at least 18 inches long to be able to
thank you,
to be able
Ken.
to
I didn't know.
produce a sacrifice-worthy red heifer. In fact, I did a study of 46 bulls, personally measuring them, and I found them to be the average is 18 and a half inches, but some were up to 21 inches.
I'm pretty sure
I made
Kent,
several dozen photos. Would you like to look at them, Amy?
Yes.
Several
Not only do I have
dozen
7 dozen
photo
photos, you can find it on slide number 57 and on my DVD number 5. I don't know if you knew this, but yes. What's up, Victoria?
For 180 bucks. All my DVDs. There you go.
Oh, yes.
Best deal you'll ever find. 180 bucks.
At Kent Hoven measures veryphallicobjects.com. But with that, all right. I mean, this is all you need to know about magic cows, I guess, before going into it. I am going to hand us over to James for a second. We're going to be in your lovely hands. And then
yep.
I will get us into it. But James, we are talking construction of the third temple is about to begin.
Oh boy, we got Victoria here. Shit just got real out there, guys. She's here. And Amy got
James is multiplying.
Yeah, we are. Hey everybody, good to see you this week. I'm sure Amy will be back in the good hands of Amy shortly, but we hope everybody's doing good out there. We hope everybody's having a good week. Things are getting back to normal, and life is going on. It's going to be Thanksgiving next week. Kind of snuck up on us for some of those out there. May not feel like Thanksgiving week coming up, but it's a week from today, actually, yeah. For our American audiences, I guess most of our audience is probably American. We do have a lot of international people. Yeah, this is one of the things that came up. Started seeing videos about red heifers. I don't know, it's been a while since we went traipsing through the Book of Numbers. So it's a nice refresher for Amy to get to reacquaint herself with the wisdom of the Book of Numbers, the wisdom of the Torah, the Old Testament, the sacrificial system, and that thankfully the Jewish people no longer live under. that's not stopping the Christians from trying to bring it back, because they they want the world to end. They want the apocalypse to come, so they are going to do everything possible to get that there, including breeding these red heifers and shipping them over to Israel. And I don't think too many people in Israel are actually gung-ho about rebuilding the third temple, because by not having exempts them from a lot of rules that they would otherwise have to follow. Even the religious ones, even the more orthodox ones who would follow all of them, they're still exempt. So, which is why I think there's very little support to rebuild the temple, plus the political calculus and the issues and this peace situation over there that's always so tenuous. It's always ready to blow up. I think UDEF was saying the International Court issued a warrant for Netanyahu today. I'm skeptical it'll ever be enforced, but hey, it is something that a lot of people think was the right move to do. Stuff just needs. I mean, is there a solution over there? Like Amy said, in terms of get rid of religion, most of the conflict goes away. That's true. Over there, that's not going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately. But it will continue to be a complicated situation, and the helpless victims of it all are the people over there that are the collateral damage for this infighting amongst various religious groups. The people mostly just trying to live their lives, and they get caught up in this dispute, this unresolvable dispute, and they're the real victims in all this. And of course, anytime anything goes along with Israel, the Christians get very excited because they think their apocalypse is coming. They're ready for it. They can't wait. They're ready for billions of people to die. That's what they think is going to happen, and it's what they really want.
Good old apocalypse. I mean, they seem to really just want to cheerlead for the end of the world.
They want all this shit to end, yeah.
All the religions. I know the Christians, they're always like, oh, you just pick on us, and why don't you pick on insert religion? They're all crazy. It's just in the different ways that they do their things. They're superstitions. Nonetheless, what can I tell you? We have a lot of Christians here.
Than others, though.
Well, I mean, we unfortunately deal with the Abrahamic religions because those are the most prevalent ones that we deal with, and the fundamentalists, unfortunately, become so big a pain in the butts to secular society. Once again, I want everyone to have their religion. I want everyone to have freedom of religion. What always drives a fear in me is the people who want to take whatever insert religion and make it some sort of like theocratic. Now you're going to be that religion. Now you're going to obey those laws. It's like, But all right, let's get to construction of the third temple is about to begin. Let's get to some red cows, apparently. I have Moonlight in here. Sending love to everyone. If you would like to share a comment or some funny anecdote with us, keep on. Make the best steaks.
Better than Wagyu. Better than American Wagyu.
Who does?
The heifer. It's the best beef.
The heifer. I bet. It better be, for the importing cows to Israel. Okay. But to just to be like poofed and killed, not for any food reasons. Anyway, let's get to it
now, because those are very long. Those are very, very long. Barnacle penises.
coming to a store near you. All right.
Beefsteak barnacles, delicacy.
Well, we're going to be talking about the exact opposite. Probably the most common delicacy in America. Sold billions across every state. Let's get into it. We are talking construction in the third temple is about to begin, or as I would like to title this podcast, a big and magic cow.
The world is taking another step towards fulfilling end-time prophecies. The red heifer, so crucial for the purification ritual of the third temple.
And all right, let's get this out of the way, because this is the funniest thing that James and I agree, kinda. It doesn't know how to say heifer. So,
No, this is a AI channel.
Has already been born in Israel, and now it's only a matter of time until this monument is erected and the Antichrist emerges to fulfill his role. In this video, I'll show you something that no one is talking about regarding the red heifers, and I'll also explain to you in a very simple way why they are so important. You'll be surprised at how advanced the Jews are in breeding and reproducing this animal, which needs to be in perfect condition laws of Moses to fulfill its great purpose. In fact, some believe that these heifers will be the reason for the escalation of the war between Jews and Arabs.
Some believe,
Really?
yeah.
Wait a minute. It's the cow.
It's all going to be about cows, yeah.
Considering a conflict of global proportions. But can a simple cow really be the reason for the start of World War III?
No.
I'll tell you everything I think about it, so stay with me until the end.
Okay, Mr. AI, you tell us what you think about it.
It's very easy. It's free. Just click on the subscribe button and activate the notification bell because I want to help you understand the Bible in a simple and easy way. So, let's get started. In chapter 19 of the book of Numbers, God instructed Moses on a purification ritual for people considered impure so that they could reintegrate into the community.
Why not just let them back into the community?
The procedure involved the use of a completely red heifer, which couldn't have given birth to any calves or have done any work, like plowing, for example.
Because doesn't that make a lot more sense, Amy, the red heifer?
It has to be a diva cow. It can't do any work. It's got to just be sitting there. And why red? Also,
this is a holy cow, like the cows of India that they don't eat. This is a holy cow.
A very holy cow. In other religions, apparently, they have other color cows that are in Islam. I think a yellow cow or something. Everyone's got a cow.
This cow had to be sacrificed by the priest outside the tabernacle.
Or they don't eat a cow.
Then another man would come and burn the animal completely. Both the priest who made the sacrifice and the man who burned the heifer needed to wash themselves, remaining impure until the end of the day. Then, a third man would collect the ashes of the heifer and store them in a clean place outside the camp.
Once again, this just all sounds like science. You burn the cow, you have his ashes, now we're taking his ashes.
To wash afterward. These ashes were mixed with water called purification water and served to purify people who had touched corpses or been in tents where someone died. This purification...
Yes, because, once again, if you have seen someone and you don't do this, we're going to banish you from society because all-loving God, great religion, let's go.
Allowed the person to
What's that say on the tent back there? Nothing, because AI doesn't know how to do stuff like that.
Oh, and I told James we were also going to go. Some of these images, they're only good if you look at them for like a half second, because if you start to look at what's going on here, it becomes horrifying because you realize that this is one person. He's not hugging anyone, and this is like a monster creature. Oh my God, don't look into that. Let's keep going.
And if they didn't do this, the person was excluded from the community.
Because you're just being a dick to him? Yeah, womp womp.
But there's a catch. This ceremony hasn't been performed by them for thousands of years because the tabernacle no longer exists, and neither does.
And they've been okay without it, right? They've gotten along okay without it. Okay, so it was never really all that necessary about this heifer thing because they're fine without it.
Also, if you don't know what a tabernacle is, it's the portable tent that the Jews used to carry around.
Jerusalem, where
Like a
these
big
rituals
food truck.
were performed, as it was destroyed in the year 70 after Christ. And since the Jews are wanting to rebuild the temple because they believe
That's exactly what the Roman soldiers were doing, just standing on the steps, raising
they're
their
already
swords
preparing for the
and
ritual
cheering while
to be performed again soon. In the year 2018, the Israeli entity Temple Institute informed the world of something surprising. After much
the year
search,
2018.
investment, the first completely red heifer in 2,000 years was found in the United States.
What are you going to do in the year 2025, Amy?
Oh, I am going to apparently invest in a red cow.
From now on, they are ready to begin the construction of the third temple of Jerusalem, which means we are very close to the fulfillment of end-time prophecies, including the arrival of the Antichrist and the return of Jesus.
Very close.
On September 16th, 2022, 5 perfect red heifers were transported from a farm in the state of Texas to the Israeli capital, where they are under the care of the Temple Institute, eagerly awaiting the moment.
Yeah, we're breeding them and they're sending them over there.
Send them over. You gotta ship the cows over.
Because without it, it will be impossible to rebuild the long-awaited Third Temple of Jerusalem. The world has known only 2 Jewish temples. The first was built on the Temple Mount by King Solomon.
Listen, sometimes you just gotta have 2. If you look at Half-Life, all right? 1, 2. Valve doesn't know how to count to 3. It's okay.
And lasted 390 years until the Babylonians destroyed it in 586 BC. And the second, built after the captivity of the Jewish people in Babylon, in the same place, stood for 585 years before being destroyed by the Romans in the year 70 AD. And the third temple is related to a prophecy that will be fulfilled.
Is actually a Starbucks, but, you know, we go there to worship in a different way now.
At the end of times. The Bible makes it clear that it is in this place that the Antichrist will sit to rule the world, deceiving and persecuting the Jews.
Oh, yeah.
Before talking about the beginning of the Antichrist's rule on Earth,
did you see the other video about the Antichrist that identified him?
Listen,
by name?
Oh, you mean one of the videos that you were sending?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because I looked at that. It was Amelia Macron. I did look at that. I can't.
The Antichrist.
I just love how people just pick random people.
Oh, look! He's attractive.
He is. He's cute,
charismatic, good-looking guy. Yeah, he makes all the even the super straight Christians can't help but admit that he's his. You
know who's also cute?
He gets them hot under the collar.
Indeed, he's suave. So is I'll continue to say. I don't know if I've ever said this, but Justin Trudeau. Both of those guys. All right, I would have a threesome. Rachel would have a foursome.
You.
We'll both.
Justin. I'm sure Justin Trudeau. I'm sure some of them think he's the Antichrist too, but this particular video said it's Macron.
I did. Oh my goodness! They always pick someone, and then that person goes away, and then the world keeps on ticking. James.
No, it's definitely Barack Obama. No, it's definitely Hillary Clinton. Definitely her.
Yeah. Nope. Listen, and this also gets weird with the Antichrist. I want to go into that. Like, it's an Antichrist, but he has a weird version, and if that's the Antichrist, then
to understand why
the AI version
about the arrival of red heifers in Israel. Since the time of Moses,
the red heifers.
Jews have always believed that God's presence was connected to their proximity to the tabernacle and later the temple. And with the destruction of these 2 physical places
just their temple. That's all they do. Portable temple.
Peoples, the Jews believe that God ceased to be completely on their side and therefore has not yet sent them the Messiah promised in the scriptures, remembering that they do not believe that Jesus is the Messiah. For the Jews,
yes, and very specifically, what they were waiting for was GTA 6. pretty sure it was prophesized. Anyway.
God will only send the Messiah to the children of Abraham.
Half my jokes go over James's head, but I want you to know, James, they're great. They're fucking great. I just want you to know that.
I get it. That's what they're all saying about the.
I know.
Listen, are we gonna get alien disclosure before GTA 6?
And I'm not sure.
When the temple is rebuilt, and consequently, the covenant between them is reestablished. And here I just want to quickly open a parenthesis for you to understand how important this fact is to them.
Okay.
Jewish theologians believe that throughout the...
Can I tell you, it was not important. I was raised in a Jewish family. I didn't know about this shit. I seriously
they talking about it.
Not a single time. Wasn't in my Hebrew school. They're like, all right, kids, it's Red Cow Day. Didn't happen. Oh, God. James, why is religion so... I don't want to use that word because the theists sometimes, I swear, they must say we're just sitting here being condescending D-bags. But it's not. It's not. It's that if we just... They're going to look back, okay? Just like how we look back at Odin and Thor, and they're going to be like, why didn't we get on Mars? And let me tell you, as much as I would like to blame Elon Musk for many things, it's not going to be his fault. It's going to be because there's still people that look at that and say, this is the coming of the apocalypse. All right?
I mean, look at that. That's like a badass looking cow right there.
Yeah.
Even though,
not only...
is that
I wanted to point... This picture's fucked up.
That looks like a male cow.
No, oh my God. I think that's a teat. Wouldn't that be a teat? Who knows? I'll tell you, anything's a teat if you... That's not what I wanted to... This image is fucked up. I was looking at this earlier. First of all, if you look, the barbed wire goes to here, and then there's another boo. But also, some of the cows get a little cubed. Like cube cow going on here. So it wants us to focus here. But it learns, and eventually it will be in control of everything, and we'll still complain about it taking us 5 seconds longer. What were we talking about? Let's continue.
The Old Testament period, only 9 perfect red heifers were found and sacrificed for this purification ritual.
This is another messed up visual that it only works if you just take a look like right here. But you notice that people's hands and people in general.
And now, getting back to our subject, the Temple Institute awaits only a green light to begin the construction work of the building, which will be identical to Solomon's temple and will be erected in exactly the same place. How do we know?
Yeah.
Responsible architects have already delivered the ready plans, the furniture, and the utensils that will be used in the temple are all ready.
Oh, and they've got the outfits already. Look at that.
What? They went to a Jewish IKEA.
Is that the people who will serve in the third temple have already been selected. It is known that all of them are from the lineage of Aaron, Moses' brother, and
they know, James, for a fact. Also, I just want to give you an anecdote story, okay, about someone named Aaron, okay? So I used to play, like, bowling on a team, even though I'm not that great at bowling. But they were kind enough to, they let me tag along. It's Rachel and the femboy. And the femboy introduced, I'm still blaming you, femboy, if you listen to this. And introduced us. We met the new placement was Aaron. Okay, his name was Aaron. And we used to go even Aaron because of the Key and Peele sketch where
the high priest.
There was the teacher who just couldn't pronounce anyone's name right. And he would say Aaron. And so we would say Aaron. And one day, Aaron's girlfriend came to bowl. And they were like, hey, Aaron, you bowling? And they're like, why do they call you Aaron? And he's like, oh, yeah, that's just insert femboy thing. I'm like, oh, Wait, it is? And they're like, oh yeah, my name's Aaron. Months, probably a year. Calling this guy by the wrong name. I still blame the femboy. What were we talking about? Let's continue.
The first high
As
priest
Aaron
of the
is
temple
probably his
that the
fault.
But they know it's from Aaron. Do you know why, James? They felt it in their balls. These people just make this shit up.
Hebrews raised during the desert journey towards the promised land. And there's more. These people are already participating in rehearsals for the temple's inauguration ceremony, where they will perform the first purification sacrifice of the place with the
That's
ashes
a cup
of
of blood,
red
right?
infant.
Yes.
But some things still need to be resolved. The third temple will be built in a place
what?
that is sacred to Jews, Christians,
Say.
and Muslims, being also one of the most
because when you mix all three flavors together, it just has this a sweet and spicy mix that you're like,
disputed places in the world. There are the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, built in the 7th century and among the oldest structures in the Muslim world. Although Israel regained control of the old city of Jerusalem and the area of the Temple Mount in the Six-Day War in 1967, the mount remains under Jordanian custody.
A lot of people use that as an apologetic. The Jews, Six-Day War. They were just a small group of people. How could they have possibly won? They had God on their side. No, God is not a weapons supplier. I don't know if people know this, but it was the UN.
No, it was Moses, Amy, was in heaven holding his arms up the whole time for 6 days, all 6 days.
Oh my goodness.
So therefore they could
that
win.
Story is
but if Moses had
ridiculous.
If Moses had let his arms down, then they would have started to lose.
Yes, if you don't know that story, there was a war that was going on, and if
their bullets would have turned into flowers.
Yes, exactly. If he had his hands down, they would start losing.
Would have turned
you
to
just
flowers.
their
artillery shells wouldn't explode, or they.
So as long as he held his hands up, his men could kill people. It's great. Good.
Otherwise,
message.
They would get killed.
Religion.
Due to the peace treaty signed at that time, Israeli Jews can enter the temple, but they cannot perform religious ceremonies there. So for the third temple to be built, Jews and Muslims would have to resolve their differences.
And I love this because, well, I won't spoiler. Let's continue. I mean, coexist.
Sense,
yes, who doesn't love that bumper sticker? I look like someone who has that bumper sticker, but I get it.
Two peoples are stating that the crisis between them will worsen from now on, including the possibility of a major war being initiated because of that territory.
James, I don't know if you know this, but there could,
I do,
in the future, be a war in the Middle East. What's up, Freak?
He's like, build that temple. That would be a radical departure from human history. I can't imagine there being armed conflict in the Middle East.
I know. I can never imagine it. And I'll tell you, this is the other thing I want to say. I mean, there already are temples. That's what they called it when we went to Hebrew school and we went to synagogue and stuff. They call it temple. And I know all of them are going to be like, oh, that's not the type of temple. Whatever. Listen, we have temple at home. Eat your temple at home.
The Arabs are already aware of the existence of the 5 perfect red heifers in Jerusalem.
They are?
And therefore, they are already preparing to strongly defend their territory from a
possible... it's military. It's a military situation, Amy. They got it on their military maps, like location of the heifers. It's what Hamas is doing, what Syria, Egypt, they're all targeting the heifers. Iran is going to try to take these heifers out. Iran wants those heifers.
Can you imagine, like, just in either a cave-like location or you are in even some comfy location, like Iran.
A military
You're
bunker in
just sitting there, a
Tehran.
military bunker. You're sitting there, and
With
the
Iranian
general
president, the Ayatollah.
has a very specific file, and he sits it down, and it says classified on it, and he opens it up, and it's a picture of a red cow.
An AI picture, no doubt, no the least.
To retake the place where the Dome of the Rock is built.
Oh, Mr. President, this is our plan.
Okay, can I just point out that this is, if you were to have an Arab version of the Matrix,
That's what I was going to
Arab
say.
Neo.
I didn't
Is
want to
it
steal your
really?
thunder.
That was your feel? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But the fact that you had that
I didn't want to steal
same
your
thought.
Yeah.
Also, once again, the
Like
longer
a-
I stare at
like
this
a
image, the creepier
Indian
it
or
gets.
Arab Keanu Reeves.
Yes. I'd watch it. I'd watch a Bollywood version of the Matrix.
Pride. Islamic theology believes in a being called Dajjal, a figure very similar to the Antichrist of the Bible, who will come before the day of judgment to
Kinky. Oh.
divert people from the true path. He is described as the great
I make light in my hand.
I just also
So they're
want to
going
point out,
Islamic Antichrist.
and once again, James may not understand this, but I would just have to say that if this man was the Antichrist, he would not have to convince me to go with him through magic. All I'm saying is through sheer cheekbones and just like a stare that
Beard
says
magic.
"Hello, Daddy." He has he does. But do you notice? And I will
The
say,
beard game is going on.
it's trimmed nicely. You can
The
tell that
nice
it's purposely
suit, yeah.
angled. Exactly. He knows how to wear a suit that fits, I might add. Anyway, back to the end of the world.
deceiver and will be capable of performing great
I
miracles
have so
to
many
deceive
cats.
people.
Oh my goodness.
According to
Suddenly
Islamic
around me.
teachings, Dajjal will travel the earth for a period, deceiving and leading people to believe that he is divine and could arrive exactly at the third temple that will be built by the Jews. The emergence of Dajjal is one of the main signs of the end times in Islam, and he will finally be defeated by the Islamic Messiah, the Mahdi, and by Jesus Christ, who in their view is just a great prophet who will descend from heaven and kill Dajjal.
Yeah,
but despite
that
this theory
will
of the
definitely
Red
happen.
Heifer causing a major war between Jews and Arabs to the point of it becoming global, I don't believe that will happen.
But hold on. I thought you just said there was gonna be a war, and it's not global. So once again, not to like be repetitive of the same joke over and over, but are you telling us there's gonna be a war in the Middle East? Holy James.
It's more likely that the Antichrist will take advantage of this moment to broker an agreement between these two peoples for the new temple to be built in the place that still
Kevin
generates so
Spacey?
much conflict.
He's the
Yes, it was.
Is he back on TV or?
No, he's not. I don't think so anyway. But I also find this funny because what they're just saying, so the Antichrist is going to broker. Is that was that in the Antichrist demo? Which Antichrist did we hire? James, this is why we need to like vet our freaking resumes.
It's the Antichrist Guild. They're unionized now.
I know.
Can we please get all the
Have to give him health insurance.
dancing and singing Antichrist on one side and all the bondage and dungeon Antichrist on the other side? Thank you very much.
I know. We need to get categories.
Power. The Antichrist will manage to
Also,
get
there
the
was just
three
a
largest
floating
religions.
giant Arab man. But that's okay. Let's ignore that. Okay, here they are coming together because that's what the Antichrist does.
With RuPaul
apparently.
and
Yes, I
Gandhi
think so.
and Boy George up there.
I'm pretty sure.
Billie Eilish
To sign a major
dressed
peace
as a
treaty.
man.
And this agreement is what will allow the third temple to finally be built in Jerusalem.
So world peace. Okay.
This will be the sign for the Jews to believe that man is the Messiah they have been waiting for so long.
Yeah, because he kind of seems like a good guy up until now. Yeah, kind of just ended religious wars.
After all,
I know,
they
there's always
rejected
a
Jesus
catch.
because
Here we
they did
go.
not accept that their Savior would be a common human figure similar to them. The Jews have always waited for a superior being, just as the Antichrist will be, and therefore they will be easily
I mean, it really wasn't a superior being. Not to get real technical, but the Messiah, they just wanted Jerusalem. They just kept on getting conquered over and over again. And they're like, hey, I know how we won't get conquered and get our land back. We're going to write a myth. And it's going to be like, our God said we're totally going to kick everyone else's ass. And, yeah.
deceived. And returning to the question of the third temple, there is information that after the permission for its construction, the temple should be completely ready within just 1 year.
Girl, really?
Yeah, right. Yeah. It would be like a 20 to 30 year construction window.
James, once again, they're just going to go right up there, get them some quick furniture. It'll be fine. Yeah. Oh,
It would take 5 years just to even plan that architecturally.
But James, this is God. He can have anything done, even cheap labor. Okay, cats go in, cats go out. Oh, she wanted to go out, but I wanted to show her to you because she's so cute. All right, back to.
And it will be from within this sacred place that the Antichrist will rule the world. The Bible shows that during the first 3.5 years, the peace agreement
He
between
ruled this 1 acre for about a week. Nobody knew.
Yeah. And so things are going to be great up until
harmony.
all
The vast majority
loving.
of people will love and bow down before the great world leader. But at the end of this period, he will break the agreement, committing in the temple what the Bible calls a terrible sacrilege.
And he's not going to tell you what it is. And so all of a sudden, he's going to break his promise. What's his promise? I don't know what that is because he already brought world peace. But
Peace treaty. Yeah.
Initiating the worst
Now he's
period of-
Antonio Banderas.
yes. But now everything's terrible. Oh, evil.
It will be at this moment that God's wrath will begin to be poured out upon the earth, and the Jewish people will come to see that the Messiah they had been waiting for.
Wait, it's God's wrath? But doesn't that mean the Antichrist is working with God?
I mean, it is God's plan, but
1,000 years ago, but was
What's up,
rejected
Brian
by them.
Stevens?
And the prophet Zechariah prophesied
Captain
about this
Desk.
moment. Just
Everybody.
look at what Jesus spoke through his servant. I will pour out on the
All right. Give us the quote.
house of David and the inhabitants of Jerusalem a spirit of grace and supplication. They will look
Will it,
on
Grace?
me, the one they have pierced, and they will mourn for him as one mourns for an only child, and grieve bitterly for him as one grieves for a firstborn son. On that day the weeping in Jerusalem will be as great as the weeping of Hadad Rimon in the plain of Megiddo.
However, not as hard as when I'm watching a rom-com.
Look at this, brothers. So at the end,
I'm sorry. And I want to play. We're going to play it because this shit makes me laugh so hard. I'm sorry.
look at this, brothers. So at the end of the 7 years of the great tribulation,
James, I don't know if you've done acid, but like, can I tell you, it doesn't
I have
happen
not.
with every trip. And I feel like this may be more of a DMT or ayahuasca. But if you take enough of a psychedelic, let me tell you, not too
How about-
far
would
from what's
salvia get you
happening
there?
right here.
Would that get you there? Would salvia
I
get you there?
think so. I think so. Oh my God, this is so.
Jesus will return, defeat the Antichrist, the false prophet, and finally Satan. Then he will gather his bride, which is
I think
us,
so.
the Christians, with the people of the
Us?
chosen nation,
Sure?
the converted Jews,
Okay.
and all of us will live in peace in the New Jerusalem.
I like how it makes them feminine. They're the bride. They're marrying Jesus. And this is why I think
Well,
more
most
Christians should be
Christians-
femboys.
These, well, he called the Christians the bride. Most Christians would say the church is the body of Christ and Israel is the bride. They're kind of blurring the lines. I think that's an AI just oversimplifying something that they know that the Christians aren't going to challenge anyway. They'll just eat this shit up. So I'll make a minor conflation there. But
An eternal place where there will be no pain, lies, evil, crying, or sadness.
You mean heaven? Why didn't you just put them all in heaven?
So everybody's under mind control at the time, right? Basically, no more free will, right? Well, basically. No, because then you could choose to do something bad, and there's not going to be anything bad, so you're going to lose that free will. So then why is it so important for people to have free will now so they can fuck up and make God mad?
Makes too much sense.
So, brothers, as much as these unblemished red heifers have great...
There we go. 2 unblemished red heifers ready to die. What a lovely thing.
...significance for the Jews at this moment in history, they mean absolutely nothing to us.
Oh my God. 10 minutes and 50 seconds into a 12-minute video, and he's like, what does this all have to do with us? Fucking nothing. Nothing. Nada. Zero. Zilch. Except for...
In the past, in the Old Testament, they represented the offering for the purification of sin, bringing new life and redemption to the people. And without the death of this very rare animal, the impure people could not return to the presence of God.
Makes sense.
And this symbolizes what Jesus did for us on the cross of Calvary.
Yeah, unfortunately, this whole sacrificial logic got us this shit, unfortunately. But I'm sorry.
Fucking stupid, yeah.
He didn't come back from the dead, and cows don't need to be burned to let you back into society after you visited a funeral.
He sacrificed himself so that we could have our impurities washed away once and for all, and could enter the presence of the Lord.
Christ himself to himself.
Represent the death of Christ.
Well, that's a lot of coke on that table. That is they're ready for a party. That's like who was that? Oh, Johnny Depp, and like when gave pictures of his drug parties, and like, would that be cocaine? Yes, that is cocaine, and that is a.
Well, James, you're lagging just a little.
Oh, like when Amber Heard brought the pictures of Johnny Depp's drug-fueled parties to the trial, thinking it would help her, and he's like, yes, that is cocaine, and that next to it, that is a lot of marijuana. He's like, yes, that is a lot of marijuana.
A lot. The right amount of marijuana.
That is a lot of marijuana.
Also, this is about, I would say, an hour's worth of cocaine for Charlie Sheen. Sending love, Charlie. I love Charlie.
Yeah. Back in the day, yeah.
Represents his blood. And about the construction of the third temple, I know there are many Christians who become terrified when they hear about this issue, but we should not worry because Christ has already guaranteed us.
Because it's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. No matter which religion, Jewish, Christian, Muslim.
Some of the shit's going to happen, but
if you care about magic cows, all right, you better be extremely stoned and inside of a Burger King.
Victory. And our crown.
At least Johnny Depp's parties were a lot more. They were a lot better than P. Diddy's parties. At least his parties were genuine fun. Not the diddler.
That's true.
Yeah.
Then, at the end of the book of Revelation, the Lord leaves us the following message: "Look, I am coming soon."
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. More Bible quotes.
Warning there, Amy, because I mean, it's nice for the guy to let you know before. That way, you know,
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna come soon. You know, you're about to get blasted in the face, so
in fairness, they should have asked. They should have asked for permission, but at least the warning is nice.
Yeah.
According to what they have done, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the
They
last,
love that shit.
the beginning and the end. Bless.
Like that type of shit.
I am the
they
master
love.
of fates. I am the best. I am the greatest. The biggest dick in the world.
You'll notice that, like, when we were talking about how many dukes that each person, had to be named, that doesn't seem to make t-shirts or get read at weddings. But yes.
Blessed are those who wash their robes, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may go through the gates into the city. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
If you enjoyed this message, share it with
others. Tell people about magical red cows. It's real. Wendy is hiding it from you. That's why she makes square burgers. James, I feel so much smarter now.
Yes.
A red heifer.
Yeah. Learned a lot. You learned a lot. You learned a lot.
That Wikipedia article was so long. Why is this such an important topic? Why was it such an important topic? I can't believe.
And Amy, that wiki probably could have been longer. That's probably abridged somewhat. They probably could have gone on further.
James, we need to have a very specific color cow so that we can burn it, so that we can make a paste and then allow people into society. Because if not, we're just going to have to banish. Well, I mean, eventually everyone, because that's how humans work, right?
Yes.
I guess. See, I wasn't gonna bring it up. I'll be the downer. Not that I say I wasn't gonna bring it up. I don't know why I said that because I wasn't sure if it. Nonetheless, I am sending love.
Do it. Do it to me.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You have to have a natural way of healing because we don't believe in afterlives. But I am sending recent love to the family, to my family. Because I did lose an uncle within the past week. I learned two things now about Judaism within the past week because I didn't know about red heifers. Didn't know about that at all. And I'll tell you another funny story, which I think she does. I don't think she knows about this podcast, but I don't think she would care if I said this story. But I told my aides about within my classroom about the upcoming funeral, and she said, "Oh, are you Jewish or Muslim?" And I said, "Oh, well, I mean, my family's Jewish, but how did you know that?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, Jews and Muslims gotta bury their loved ones within 3 days." And I didn't know that shit at all. I went, and my mom, apparently, that is a thing. They want to bury their dead basically as fast as possible.
That was part of the issue about having Jesus up on the cross. Like, they wanted to get down and bury that, like, something to do with the Sabbath and all that, and the holiday that it was.
Yes, and we're supposed to be burying him, I'm pretty sure, within 3 days, but the third or fourth day is like on a Saturday, and so they're not doing it because it's the Sabbath, and so we're going Sunday. But
it's come up in cases where there's like suspicion, they want to do an autopsy, and the family is like, no, we've got to bury him because we don't have time for that shit. Got to bury him.
Thank you so much to Freak and Udif and everyone. I had good memories. I'll continue to say.
How was your dad?
I don't know. I will find out
Have you
on
talked to him
Sunday. I have, but it's hard to. I hate to say it's a guy thing because it shouldn't be a guy thing. My mom says he's okay. They recently visited him in hospice, and I think that is what made this much easier. They're able to have
this was coming. Yeah.
yes, and they were able to at least say goodbyes and stuff. Excuse me, cough. But this is what's bringing up in my mind, because it would mean that I would, in going to a funeral, have to have this done to me. We would have had to burn the cow, had to make the ashes with the water, and then spread it on my body to be allowed back into society, James. A normal practice.
Yes, perfectly normal.
But yes, I think that we are gonna be coming to a close soon, because I unfortunately have to go to bed. It is Friday, or it's about to be Friday. But I had a good time. We have been skeptic and ranting about construction of the third temple is about to begin. James, any final thoughts?
There's a chance we could be back over the weekend. Yeah. See if we're back over the weekend. We'll try to get another show out to you guys.
Exactly. Try to sneak in some more shows, and oh my goodness, at the end, that's not true, John. Let me tell you, if that were true, I would be the first to know, I think. Or do you have to at least be like a Jewish for a certain amount of time for them to be? I always wanted, you have to have like a membership plan. They never give you a key to the Illuminati household where they have orgies and stuff. Though we should have it, because you and I we work for
the babies and
But I know exactly. And not all. See, it's not anyone, unfortunately. It's just that there's rich people and they're assholes, and then it's Jews, Christians, Muslims, and atheists. Unfortunately, the hard truth is that it's just humans are dicks sometimes. Oh, I unfortunately do, John. Let me tell you, if I were to look at my country and see right now, not to date this episode, but my government's about to be Fox and Friends. But whatever. 4 years. Don't get political. It would have been so easy for me to call him the Antichrist too. I feel like in that episode, I was waiting for it to me, but no, that's not how it works. There's been there hasn't been crazier people in charge of our country, but there's been crazier and more evil people than them, and they weren't the Antichrist either. Also, the Antichrist was kind of nice in this video, James. He had a weird turn at the end, but the Antichrist was nicer, way longer.
Peace
got
and
world peace.
happiness
and John, as much as I'd love to,
this is actually of having to worship him.
It's actually my bread and butter going back and forth with that stuff. But we do need to head out. We actually want to have more open mics. But tonight we are going to wrap up. It has been fun in the sun. And like James said, more episodes coming. As I can only imagine, the religious people are going to have... Anyway, stay focused. James, did you know I have ADD?
Stay on target.
Stay on target. Oh, you see what you did there? You see on there? And there has to be specific... James set me up for this.
Red leader, stay on target.
Listen, It has to be specific swimsuits at Target. You know this, right?
Oh boy, yes. Their field trip was at the pool today, so for school. So
It was. I had
the
to
fundamentalists.
go.
They were very unhappy with them
Yeah.
selling swimsuits that have extra space for tuckage for trans people, and I guess they would prefer like form-fitting spandex, so they can see every bit of it.
Yes, very specifically Target, and I think all governments are about to issue. They have to be all swimsuits have to be tuck proof.
Well, especially Kohl's, Target, Kohl's,
Yes.
Bell's probably too. They're in that kind of cabal. Amy's got lots of Kohl's cash though.
Yes, lots of Kohl's cash, and so that's going to be okay. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Skeptic and Ranting, Construction of the Third Temple. It's about to begin. Dun dun dun. Where yes, we watched a video from the channel Divine Transformation called Red Heifer Arrives in Israel. Construction of the Third Temple is about to begin. For a good time in a temple with a quarter pounder and cheese. I do want to thank my co-host James W. along with all of the amazing people in chat, our awesome mods who make this stream so great, and lovely viewers like you who make this channel possible. If you enjoy the show, please don't forget, it helps us out to like, follow, subscribe, as well as hit that bell icon to all so you can join our live streams or see our premieres. Or hey, why not leave a comment once the video's done? You can also leave a super thanks.
Even a spicy
as well
one.
As a spicy, that's right, I'm spicy meatball. Sending love to all the people who have also sent us super chats and all of our channel members who you can join by hitting the membership button below and getting our evolving badge system and our emojis and so much fun, as well as all the amazing people that help us keep the lights on and all the unique perks at patreon.com/Amy Newman. I'm Amy Newman, and along with James W., we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Balls C.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.